I wanted to get the lighting, right? Because I feel, is it safe to say that lighting is half of photography, or is it more than half of it? Because it's not only the camera, but it's the light that you capture.
Lighting is photography.
The light,
Yeah, I mean,
it is.
lighting is a big part of it. I remember
Right.
being in Home Depot with my uncle at like 17, and he was like, "What's the most important thing in photography?" And I was like, "Lighting." He was like, "Don't ever forget that." So,
Yeah, man.
Yes.
So you've got to set it up right, because I've been to your studio and you've got like all these different types of lights, and you know these things that change the light and make it look like it's through blinds or something, or you know there are some bulbs that look like it's actual sunlight, and you know.
I mean, or you could just use the sun.
Right. But then you only can film
Absolutely.
like there's only two. There's like is that like a golden hour or a blue hour or something like that, where it's like in the morning?
Then it's
is
still
a blue-
style.
Yeah.
Then it still comes down to style.
Right.
You know.
It's true. You can film in any.
Yeah, like you can have like overcast day, you know, like golden hour, like you know, whatever it is, like it doesn't matter. It's like, what's his name? Alexander
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah,
He was an incredible
he
photographer.
was a great photographer.
He was such a great photographer.
But anyway, so this individual whose name you can't remember, what is it about him?
I mean, he just it didn't matter. It didn't matter if he looked moody. It didn't matter if he shot from below where you could look like Halloween, like you know, like it just doesn't matter. Like lighting is like, oh my God, it's anything can just turn into something. It's like what is now is only now. What is not the future.
Right. And just that moment in time, you're catching the moment basically. That's could potentially never happen again.
Well, yeah. But I guess what I'm saying as far as lighting is just like personal style. Because your personal style is not my personal style, you know? Like I can shoot like really hard, edgy lighting, and this other person, like e-commerce is coming, like e-commerce is big right now, which is like how the robots are taking over. And that's like bright fluorescent lights,
open,
all clean,
filled
so you
in,
can
no
yeah.
shadows,
It's
yeah.
like photographers, like you know, we valued like the hard shadows that gave you character and make you look
Right.
interesting. You know, like that's kind of like
This
It's-
robot
it's
shit's
going out the
really-
window.
You know, I
Shit's
think
scary.
if I am hearing you correctly, and I agree with you, there's no one way to do it properly because there's no right or wrong. It's just about understanding what you feel most inspired to do. So
Yeah,
if
at
there,
the moment.
you know, it's generally considered that you don't shoot in high noon, which is when the sun is directly overhead because it's unflattering and the shadows come down weird and blah blah blah. It's very hot and
unless the client wants that.
unless they want that, or unless you can find a way to do it good, or the badness in it somehow is interesting. As long as if the picture ends up in a way that either you like, which is successful then, in my opinion, or that communicates something, it works. So however that is, if you print it out and wipe it on the ground and then show it to, you know, you've seen art in art museums, shit looks crazy. Like, you know, and it works for some people.
So